I just want to point out what it's like to live as a disabled person, because the internet is a great place of pointing out everything that is wrong with society, because people are comfortable saying the quiet thing out loud because they can, hide behind that keyboard. And I actually think that it's kind of a good thing that this stuff comes out, so that way people with disabilities and also people of color that have been saying, hey, this type of, racism or prejudice exists, and then just being told, no, it doesn't. Today I posted, it was early in the morning and I was dealing with insomnia again, because I always do. And I was talking about my disability and how, people will say, oh, you just use your disability as an excuse. And I'm like, how ableist that comment is, when I wished every day I didn't have my diseases so that I could live a normal life. And that, I appear not disabled because on my good days, I will go out and do, I post aerial videos all the time on my timeline here. But that's on my good days. And the thing is that when disabled people have good days, or we have enough spoons, we oftentimes use or overuse our spoons to the point where we have negative spoons the next day, and then we end up in the hospital because we're trying so hard to please able-bodied people, because able-bodied people will say shit like, you just use your disability as an excuse. So we oftentimes try to pretend that our disease doesn't exist for a short period of time that we can before our body crumbles, to please able-bodied people that don't care about us, because the minute that we do end up in the hospital, they are literally saying stuff like, well, you were fine yesterday. What do you mean you're in the hospital? You were fine an hour ago. And not realizing that, disabilities are not always constant. For example, also people that will be like, you're walking, why do you have a disabled card on your car to go into the disabled parking thing? Yeah, because ambulatory wheelchair users exist, but also there's plenty of other conditions that need that disabled parking. It's not just for wheelchair users. Regardless, anyways, I posted, basically my frustration about how, we're just asking for accommodations and being told, you don't need them. You're just using your disability as an excuse. And then a person literally commented with, well, there's a cure out there. You're just stupid for not believing there is one. And I wish I could say that this is the first time that that's ever been said to me. But unfortunately, it's not. It's absolutely not been told, not the first time that it's been said to me. And the excuses they were giving that miracles exist is because SpaceX exists, which is laughable, because I'm like, what the hell does space exploration have anything to do with curing an incurable disease? But yeah, I'm the stupid one because I understand that my disease is genetic. And unless you learn how to rewrite DNA while I'm alive, it's not going away. This person kept digging themselves into a bigger hole, basically saying, I don't know how, but miracles exist. You just have to believe they exist, and you're stupid for not believing that miracles exist. This person is not a doctor, this person is not disabled, but had the audacity to sit there and tell me that I was stupid for living in reality. And the funniest thing is that when I pointed out the ableism in that, they just kept digging that frickin' hole and telling me that I was wrong, when I was like, no, your comment's actually really ableist. And you're doing that on a post where I'm calling out ableist people. And at the point that you're going to sit there and say disabled people are stupid for living with their diseases, I don't have to be nice to you anymore. And in fact, you owe people an apology, including myself. So basically when I pointed out that he was being an asshole, he said, acknowledge you. And I was like, you literally didn't. You didn't read anything that I said, and you doubled down on being ableist, and you're being a dick, so apologize, or get off my timeline. And then he had the audacity to sit there and say that I was actually the asshole, but I apologize. He literally said, you're being an asshole, and you didn't have to be so mean to me, but I apologize. Fine, I apologize. Okay, not a real apology. But also, how am I being the asshole for pointing out your ableism and you being an asshole? Nobody has to be nice to you. The minute that you are being an asshole, why do you think you deserve that? Especially when you are being so just absolutely, what's the word? There's a word for it. It's not indifferent. I almost want to say it's a version of weaponized incompetence, because like he's literally not reading the words that I'm saying and just saying, but there's miracles out there. And I even said to them, I'm like, yeah, there could be miracles out there, but those diseases might not get cured until after I'm dead. So what am I supposed to do? Wait around until they're cured? Fun fact, since you're calling us stupid for not believing that miracles exist, we could become doctors ourselves and try to learn how to cure our diseases, but guess what we need for that? Accommodations! Disabled people need accommodations to be able to do those things. Crazy. And you sitting there and like completely ignoring that, and then calling us stupid. You're the asshole, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit there and be nice to you when you say really stupid ableist crap like this. What? It's just, again, the internet is bad, but at the same time, I do believe that it is a good thing that we are learning that people like this do exist. Because, again, people that are disabled and or people of color that have been saying, hey, this type of prejudice exists, and then being told by the people in power, no, it doesn't. When we're like, yeah, yes, it literally does. The internet is like, see? It does exist. It's just the quiet part that's said out loud. And I do appreciate the internet for at least letting me have the proof that it does exist.